Greetings, everybody, and welcome to Tri-State Triumphs for July 20th, and we are super excited. In fact, when we started this program, one of the first names I had on my wish list was the great Dustin Jacoby, and we are so excited to have him here with us, former Concord Triopia star, former quarterback at Culver Stockton and Quincy University, and for anyone who knows the MMA and the kickbox game, Dustin has gone on to great success in both avenues and has now got an opportunity on August the 4th to fight in Season 4 of Dana White's Contender Series on television for all of us to watch. He fights for his dream shot, another return to the UFC and a contract. So obviously grabbing Dustin with us, and I know these are really hectic times for you, Dustin. First of all, thanks so much for taking time out of your training schedule to join us. How's everything going in the world, first of all, right now for you?
Oh, everything's going good, man. We've been at it the whole time. You know, as soon as the COVID hit, we closed the gym down and started training in smaller numbers, and but we never really took our foot off the gas. We've been going ever since, and being smart about it. I'm definitely middle ground. I want to, I'm not visiting any nursing homes. I haven't even seen my grandparents during this time, but we've been laying low and we've been working hard. And in our profession, you can't really take too much time off, because if you get the call, you can't just, show up and expect to be ready. So you have to stay prepared, and that's what we've been doing. And yeah, man, we've just been doing our thing.
The professional resume said for you back in 2010, it really seems like you kind of found your niche, because it's a really hard industry to kind of break into. Found your niche about 2015, and you've been riding a nice crest through a bunch of different promotions and obviously some different disciplines. How is that whole sum total of that experience, DJ? How has that kind of shaped you as a fighter?
Dude, it's been a rocky road. There's lots of ups and downs in this sport, and I say it all the time. It's not like back in the days when you play football. If you have a bad game, you get to play the next week, or if you play basketball, you have a bad game on a Tuesday night, you get to play again on a Wednesday or Thursday night. It's if you have a bad fight, you got to wait 3, 4, maybe 5, 6 months to go again. And so it's a rocky road, lots of ups and downs. And, I think early on in my career, when I got to the UFC, I was ready, and, I was beating good guys, which is why I got there, but it was just too soon in my career. There's a lot to be said for experience, and everybody always told me that, and it's another thing to hear it, and it's another thing to actually be the experienced guy. And I'm much more mature in my career right now. I've traveled the world doing this. So this opportunity on the Contender Series, I really want to show that there is levels to this game, and these contender guys are coming up. You see their records, they're 5-0, 6-0, much like I was when I first got into UFC. And now these guys get to do it on a Contender Series. And I think I'm the only guy to date, you might have to fact check me on this, but that has been in the UFC, has got cut, and then has got a chance on Contender Series. So usually it's for the younger guys. And I'm just out to prove that. I've traveled the world doing this, like I said, and had a great career with Glory Kickboxing, which gave me the opportunity to grow with a big promotion and to get comfortable with them. And I think now is my time to do that with the UFC.
Let me ask a little bit, just honestly, Dustin, because you were such a natural as an athlete, and things come much easier to you than they do to most of us. Was that at the inception, maybe that hurt you a little bit in terms of growth, just because you jumped into this and you were good right off that?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, this is a sport that experience really does matter. And like I said, there was no doubt that I was ready and that, I was good enough to be there. Just there were so many things that hadn't happened yet in my career, and I wasn't able to grow. And I think it just all happened too quick and too soon. And, when I first got cut from the UFC, people were asking me, what are you going to do now? And it's like, for those that don't know, I mean, it's like a minor leaguer a major leaguer gets sent back to the minor leagues. You just got to put your head down and keep working and keep going through the experiences. And each time you step in the cage is a different outcome and a different, opportunity to grow and just develop as a fighter. And, I'm 32 now. It's been almost a decade since I've been in the UFC, and I'm just much more mature with everything in life, with my training, with, just get much more discipline in the way I take care of myself. And, I'm excited for this opportunity, man.
The fact it is the UFC, and this is a chance to sort of rewrite history for you, that's got to be fun, because I know how proud you are.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. The first time I was this young kid and I was traveling to Vegas and, like this, my opponent, he hasn't traveled the world. This is going to be his first time going to Vegas and fighting. So I remember that time, all of my friends and family were there and, they're hooting and hollering and having a blast. And, I'm trying to stay middle ground and it was hard, I wanted to be out with them. And I thought at the time when I got there, I had made it. And little did you know, man, there's just so much more work that has to be put in, and it's easy to get there. It's harder to stay there. And, just the whole maturity and experience thing, I think is going to show in this upcoming fight.
You really do love this, don't you, Dustin? Because I don't know that people would go through what you go through in terms of training, in terms of self-sacrifice and commit. And you said 32. I mean, you're still a really young guy. I know in the fight game you're a little older than some, but you
Right.
really are. I mean, and you have still passionately pursued this. What does that say about you?
Yeah, man, I just enjoy competition. I enjoy the martial arts, like the training every day. It's monotonous and sometimes it gets old and it's hard work, but I love being in shape. I love going to the gym. I love being around the guys. I've always been a locker room type guy. I just love the camaraderie and seeing other people have success and chasing their dreams. And when you're around that, you surround yourself with that, it's hard to get away from it. You just love it. You like seeing other people push themselves. It makes you push harder. And, like I said, I love the competition and just taking care of myself. And it is a lot of hard work. And as much as I gripe about it or, days that I don't want to go to the gym, you always feel so much better when you do it. So, I will say that, man, it's the people that if they have a goal or they have something that they want to chase and do, go do it, because once you do it, it may not be fun, but afterwards you just feel great. And, you get that sense of accomplishment and just that pride.
You have gone on such great heights, and you're a guy from Concord Triopia High School, which is the smallest class of football in Illinois, and people don't always dream big, or maybe don't always dream big enough. And what you've done, and let's face it, DJ, you didn't have a wrestling background. You didn't have that benefit because your high school wasn't big enough to have a wrestling program. All the
Right.
things that you've been able to do, what does that say to you when you meet people who say, hey, I don't think I can get there because I don't have this, or I'm from there? What's the message that you give people about dreaming big?
Man, you just have to believe in yourself. If you truly believe in yourself, you just got to keep going. And like I said, man, you fall down, you get back up. You fall down twice, you get back up 3 times. And you can't listen to the naysayers or the people that tell you can't do things. You can't listen. And on the flip side of that, the same people, if you surround yourself with the people that tell you how good you are and how great you are, you're going to let that get to your head too. And you're going to start thinking that you don't have to work as hard. And that's where I keep going back to the experience and maturity, because, I've been through all these stages. It's been a long career, and I've been, around people telling me how good I am. And I've also had people, like I said, when I lost and got twice in the UFC, they're like, what are you going to do now? Well, dude, I'm the one that gets up every day and goes to the gym. I'm the one that goes through the grind and goes through the hard work. So at the end of the day, I look at myself in the mirror and I talk to myself. I've already told myself there's no way I'm letting this kid beat me. And I promise on everything I love that I'm going to win this fight. And just never give up on your dreams. And if you want something, go get it. Don't listen to what other people say, because you are only in control of you. I can't control what you do or what anybody says about me. I can only control what I do. And I think that's the most important thing to remember is one day at a time, man, and stay in your own lane and just believe in yourself.
How much of being from a farming community where hard work is a daily thing, and how much of being held accountable by the Westlers and the Andy Phelps of the world back in the day has helped contribute to your success?
Oh, big time, man. I mean, it goes all the way back to, just doing Taekwondo when I was 4 or 5 years old, and just being a quarterback, always kind of being a natural born leader and working hard and showing up. 90% of it is just showing up. Some days you don't feel like going, just show up and get through it. Because like I said, once you get through it, you always feel so much better. And the accountability too, that's such a big one, man. I mean, just being able to be there for your teammates. This is an individual sport, but I got guys that are already asking me as soon as, bigger guys that I train with that fight weeks after I do, they're like, hey man, can you get back in the gym after your fight? Cause I need you. So just being there for others and just being held accountable and taking action for for your own actions.
Do you look back, Dustin, just a little bit? Because, I mean, obviously what you've been able to do in the fight game has proven that you were an elite athlete kind of buried and hidden away in small town Illinois. And do you go back and think, man, what if I had done football, or what if I did basketball, or any of those other things that I were kind of a part of your upbringing? Have you ever looked at the road less traveled, or did you always just know somewhere within you this was the path?
No, I had no idea this was a path. I remember when I was at Culver Stockton and my brother called me up one day. He's like, dude, Saturday I'm getting in a fight. And I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean getting in a fight on Saturday? I thought fights just happened. I didn't know what MMA was. So he told me it was MMA. It was, you get in a cage. It's signed. Both people sign up to fight. So I started Googling what was going on, man. I had no idea this was a path to take. When I was younger, I always, was dreaming of being in the NFL or, in a weird roundabout way, I always thought I was going to be a professional athlete. And I guess, I am a professional athlete with MMA, but I had no idea it was going to be cage fighting or kickboxing. And, I'm very thankful for the sport that I did choose and that I am in. I've got to travel the world, and I've met so many great people, and I have so many great friends because of this sport. And, you never know where life's going to take you, man. I mean, it's been one heck of a journey, and I've loved every minute of it. And, again, as the experience and as you get older, you just realize that you start taking them one fight at a time because you never know when this could be over. And, I had a couple injuries in 2017. I took like 8 months off in 2018. I was pretty content at that time of, maybe I'm not going to compete again. But it's just the athlete in me. It's going to be hard to step away, man. I love the competition. And like I said, I love being around the guys. I love being in the gym, taking care of myself. So becoming a professional athlete was always a goal of mine, and I'm glad that I got to accomplish that.
Can I ask you, because I don't think I ever have, you made that detour to kickboxing, which couldn't have been easy, kind of out of nowhere, and it had great, especially at the back end of your kickboxing career with Glory. You had a fantastic run those last couple of fights. What kind of spurred that? Because I don't think we've ever talked about that.
Yeah, man, it was just, once again, the experience. When I got into Glory and I'd won that first tournament, I'd fought all-American guys for one, and I knocked them all out, and I was like, well, heck, this is going to be easy, Well, and then I go overseas. I fight in London. I fight this Michael Duke, 37-3. I fight Daniel Lunga, 52-4. Fight Simon Marcus, he's 48-4. Murad Bazidi, 78-22. You realize these guys just have way more fights and way more experience. And it took some lumps and some bumps in the road that finally it just all started clicking. And I think the biggest thing is just the maturity and having the confidence and truly, it's one thing to believe in yourself, but then you go out there and you start second guessing yourself. And this will be my 48th fight. And it wasn't until about 7 fights ago. I remember the day. I remember where I was. It was actually in Chicago. And I remember looking at coach right before going. You're always nervous before you go out. And I was looking at him, I was like, dude, I'm just fired up. I'm excited to go show off, to go show out, to ball out. And that's how I was with football and basketball. There was never any nerves. I was just ready to go play. And that's how it is now, through the experience. I'm just ready to go out there and play and put all that hard work that we do every single day, put it to use and to show people, hey, this is what we do and what I'm capable of.
You've always had a great head on your shoulders, Dustin, about adversity and, getting back up off the mat, literally and proverbially. Does a lot of that go back to the leg injury? Because for me, that seemed like a seminal moment for you back in high school when you bounced back and you came back. And a lot of people might never have done sports again because that was horrific at the time.
Oh, that was, dude, I'll never forget that. That was like the first real adversity I'd ever faced in my life. And up until that time, I thought, I was invincible. I was this young kid, like nothing can hurt me, extremely, extremely confident. Maybe some would even say on the cocky side back then, but I think that right there just humbled me a lot and showed me that I'm not human, but it also showed me that, things happen and you have choices to make. Perspective is everything. I could have never played again. I could have stayed down and be like, oh, that was it. I didn't want to get hurt, or, I chose to pick myself up and continue on. I mean, like I said, you fall down 2 times, you get up 3. And that was just I'll never forget that moment. It was such a growing moment in my life, and it matured me a little bit and really, really changed the way I thought about things, and for the better.
I know you're at a different level now, but is there still some part of you that allows you to kind of creep back in your head, like post fight, and go, it's really cool that the entire Tri-States is rooting for me, and that audience is in my corner. And when I put on Twitter that we were doing this, I got 15 emails of people going, well, is Dustin going to be on? I mean, to have that kind of support back here, I know it's a small thing, but it's also a pretty big thing, isn't it?
Oh, 100%, man. Like, this is so much easier when you have that support system. And that's one thing I'm truly grateful for. And my entire career, I've had nothing but support and encouragement and just positive, blessings from so many different people that, I'll get a message every now and then from somebody that I had no idea was even following. And so many messages where people are like, man, you're a huge inspiration. And I think that's just another reason I keep going. I keep doing it, and to show people that defy the odds. Just believe in yourself, and if you want to chase something, go chase it. Life's too short, man. You gotta go get what you want. Go and be enthusiastic about it, and I can't say enough thank yous to those people. And there's so many. There truly is, man. People that I've never met. Just being from that area, it truly is a blessing, and it's pretty cool too.
Last one for you. I'm not doing my job if I don't ask, because it's a little sparksy, but what is the game plan? Because this is a really unique deal with the Contender Series. And obviously you got to win the first to get to the second one and all of that, but how do you play this out, Dustin? What's kind of the approach to this? Because it is a really big shot.
Yeah, it's a big shot. Like I said, about 7 fights ago is when it all clicked, and I just can't wait to get out there and go perform. I have zero nerves. Like I said, I've traveled the world doing this. It really has become like a job. I mean, in the beginning, it was like, this is crazy, I'm doing this. And now, it's just my approach to it's way different these days. And I'm just very dialed in. And I'm going to go out there, and my main focus and my main goal is, ever since my rise with glory, I got out there and I had 4 losses in a row. And a lot of people would be like, how are you still going? Why aren't you quitting? Well, because like I said, I'm the one that's going to the gym. I'm the one that's putting in the work. I'm the one that's going through all the pain. And when I step into the cage nowadays, when any opponent I fight, I want them to feel the pain and the adversity that I went through. And I just want to show them that there is levels to this game. And I 100% plan on finishing this kid inside the distance and showing that he's not ready and he's not on my level. And I look forward to that opportunity, man. And when it's all said and done, I'll help him up. I'll shake his hand, and hell, maybe even have a beer with him afterwards. But I know he's a good dude. He's a Midwestern guy. He's from Missouri. So he's going to be tough too. The Midwest kids are tough. So looking forward to sharing the octagon with him. And I can't wait for this opportunity, man, to get back to my UFC contract.